Hello all, welcome back to Trinity Software. This is Dana. In this video, let us see how to create a chat application using Django. We are going to see the step-by-step process of creating a real-time chat application. Initially, we need to create and activate a virtual environment, and then we can start a project using this command Django-admin start project. Name the project as chat_app_project or chat_project, whatever you wish. So I'm using PyCharm Community Edition under PyCharm projects, Django projects folder. I have already created a set of Django projects. Now activate this virtual environment which has been created already. So venv/script/activate. Virtual environment has been activated. The next step is we need to know about Django channels and WebSockets. Django channel is to build real-time applications with WebSockets. So we'll be using this WebSocket. WebSocket connection uses full duplex two-way communication. That is, either side of the connection can send messages whenever they want. So whereas in HTTP connection, it uses half duplex communication. That is, only one party can communicate at a time. So if we see this diagram, this is the difference between WebSocket and HTTP. In HTTP, the server's message is always in response to the request from a client, whereas in WebSocket, it uses full duplex two-way communications. So we can install this Django channels using this command. The virtual environment pip install -u. U stands for upgrade channels. I have already installed channels. We need to know about two concepts, ASGI and WSGI. ASGI stands for Asynchronous Server Gateway Interface and WSGI stands for Web Server Gateway Interface. When you are going to use the real-time features like WebSocket, we should go for ASGI over the WSGI. When you have a simple API with low to moderate traffic, in that case you can opt for WSGI. And when we have a complex API with a high traffic, we must go for the ASGI. Okay, here we are using a ASGI server called Daphne. Install Daphne server using this command pip install -u Daphne, and it is a high performance ASGI server to handle WebSocket connections. After installing these Daphne and channels, we have to add these things to the installed apps in the settings.py file. So we have to create the project first using this command Django-admin start project. Name it as chat_project. Okay. So project has been created. You can see this folder is created here. Again, under chat_project, we have this settings.py file. Open that file, and in installed apps, you have to Daphne and channels. So we can just verify whether we have installed channels and Daphne by using this command pip list. So it will show you the list of modules which have been installed under this virtual environment. Daphne is installed, channels is also installed. Okay. So let me add Daphne, channels. Okay, so we have added this to the installed apps. Now we have to set the ASGI application to default ASGI file in the project. So we need to include this statement in the settings.py file. So ASGI application is equal to the project name .asj.application. So you can move to the end of settings file. Here we have WSGI application. You can make it as a comment, and instead of WSGI we are going to make it as ASGI application. So let me just copy this and make it as ASGI application, the chat project .asgi.application. That's it. Next, we need to know about channel layers. So channel layers allows you to talk between different instances of an application. So you can add the channel layer settings to the settings file. This will tell the Django channels which backend to use for storing and distributing messages between the client and the server. So the backend to be used here is in-memory backend, which is suitable for development and testing purposes. So you can include this line in the settings.py file. So go to the end of settings file. Just copy that here. Channels.layers.in-memory channel layer. Fine. Next, we have to create the chat application inside the project, and we need to add that also to the installed apps. You can create the app using this command Python manage.py start app and the app name is chat. Python manage.py, start app and chat. Okay, so before creating the app, we should move on to that folder, to the chat project. So cd chat underscore project. Now you can create the app inside this chat project. Okay, app is created now. You can see the directory here, chat. So we have created the chat app. We have to place a few files inside the chat app. First, urls.py file. So this file has to be created. This will route the Django application to different views in the application. And routing.py will route the WebSocket connection to the consumers. So a consumer is actually the basic unit of channels code. They are tiny ASJ applications driven by events. So if you consider a Django project, it can have multiple consumers that are combined using channel routing. It can write both synchronous and asynchronous code with the consumers. Okay. So we have one more file called consumers.py file where we will have this asynchronous functionality. So we can create these three files now. So under chat, create a new Python file called urls. Okay, then another new Python file called routing, and one more file called consumers. Okay, then we need to create two files inside this chat project. Under this chat project, you create a directory called template. Under this template directory, we create another directory called chat. In this path, you can create two HTML files called chatpage.html. Here we will be writing the code to view the chat conversations taking place, and login page is that user can log in using this. Okay, let's create this path now. Under chat project, create a new directory called template. Under template, we need to again create a directory by the app name, chat. Under this chat, we are creating new HTML files called login page.html file and another file called chat page.html file. We need to create some more files now. So under the chat project folder, we already have a urls.py file. So this will route you to the chat application urls.py file. Under chat project, you can find urls.py file. We need to include a new path, empty string, and include chat.urls. Okay, that is the chat applications URLs. So you can write that by giving path comma include, and here you can include that path. Fine, that's it. Next, in the chat application, we have created this urls.py file. This will route to the views. So we are going to write the code for this urls.py file now. We have already opened this one. This is chat applications urls.py file. Okay, as I already mentioned, this is going to route you to the views. So we have three views here: chat views, login view, and logout view. Okay, then under chat application, we have views.py file. This will route the views to the chat page.html file we have created, but we have not written the code for that file. Okay, we need to write the views.py file. Open this views.py file and rewrite the code. So we have created the views here, created a function called chat page. If the user is not authenticated, we are redirecting to the login user page again. Otherwise, it is going to return this render request chat page.html context. Okay, we are going to create the content for chat page.html file. So chat page.html. So we have written the code with the JavaScript. First, we have some HTML content. I used minimal CSS here. Once the user has logged in, I'm greeting the user with hello username. Welcome to Trinity chat room. Okay, if the user is authenticated, you are giving the option to the user to wish to sign out, that is form method is equal to post, action is equal to percentage you are a logout user, CSRF token. So logout button type is submit. Okay, and then you're opening a div tag and input to enter the chat content, and then the button called send message to send a message to the recipients. Okay, so this is HTML content. Here comes the JavaScript. The first statement is const chat socket. Actually what happens is we are creating a new WebSocket object and connect to the server using the WS protocol, and then we have three event listeners here: on message, on open, and on close. On message listener is called whenever the server sends a message to the client. So on message, you see here this on message, whenever server sends a message to the client, we are passing the data. We are retrieving the username and then the message. So data.username and data.message is retrieved. So I have used if condition here to differentiate between the sender and the receiver. So if the message is sent by the registered user, we have a different color, or if the messages are received, data will be shown in the different color. We are passing the incoming JSON message and extracted the message field. Okay, on close listener is called when the WebSocket connection is closed unexpectedly. So in that case, we can just give a console.log with an error message. That's what I have given here, on close. On close console.log, something unexpected happened. Here, when the connection is opened, on open, we have a message connection was set up successfully. And we also have a on key up event. It is a type of event that occurs when the user handling the application releases a key on the keyboard. Instead of pressing the send button, if the user presses this 13, that is enter key, then send button should be clicked. Okay. And then we have already created login page.html. Here we are writing the code for login. The code is simple, just form method is equal to post, and you have to use this CSRF token and form.as_p. And the login button, you can just paste this code in login page.html. So this is the code for login page. Then after these steps, we need to migrate the database using two commands. First, use python manage.py make migrations. After that, python manage.py migrate. So python manage.py make migrations. Then python manage.py migrate. Fine. Now we have to create the route for chat consumer. So in the routing.py file, we are going to create the route. Routing is for the WebSockets for ASJ support of Django. So actually, this is the code to be written in routing.py file. We have already created a consumers.py file. We will be creating a class called chat consumer. Okay, we are using this chat consumer class here in the routing. Okay, you can just copy this code. So this is routing to the URL chat consumer. Okay. Next, we are going to create the consumers.py file, which will handle all the events. So open this consumers.py file and paste this code. So these scripts are in asynchronous mode. So that's why we are working with async and await here. Okay. We are importing async WebSocket consumer class from channels.generator.websocket, and we are creating a class called chat consumer, which is inherited from this async WebSocket consumer. Okay, so this chat consumer class can be used to create, destroy, and you can do many more things with the WebSockets. Okay, connect method works on the WebSocket instance which has been created. So you are creating a group name here. It is up to us. You can give any name, group chat, and then we are adding that group to the channel layer group using this self.channel layer group add. Okay, and disconnect method will remove an instance from the group using this group_discard. And a receive method, this function was triggered when we send data from the WebSocket. This receives a text data which has been converted to the JSON format. So we have this message and username, then it needs to be spread out to the other instances which are active in the group. And finally, we have the send message method here. It sends the message and the username to all the instances which are active in the group, and it is dumped in JSON format. Okay, and finally we need to write the code for asj.py file. This is to make it work with sockets and create routing. So you can open this ASGI in this chat project asj.py file. Here, after this os.environ set default instead of application, you just paste this code. We need to import 3 modules: auth, middleware stack, protocol type router, URL router, and from chat you have to import routing. So here the protocol type router creates routes for different type of protocols used in the application. Okay, and auth middleware stack authenticates the routes and the instances for the authentication. And this URL router routes the WebSocket connections. Okay, so next step is we need to create the users. You can create 2 or more users using the command python manage.py create super user. Minimum 2 users should be created. Python manage.py create super user. Username, let me create a name. Okay, one user has been created. Let me create another super user. Fine. So we have created 2 super users. It is up to you. You can create more number of super users also. After this, in settings.py file, in templates, we need to add this DAS colon. It will be empty. We should make it as template. So go to settings.py file. Templates DAS. Just give template. And then the parameters to be added at the end of the settings.py file is login redirect URL and logout redirect URL. After a particular user has logged in, we are redirecting that user to the chat page. After a particular user has logged out, we are redirecting that user to the login user. So you can add these 2 lines. So you can go to the end of settings file and add these 2 lines. Okay, fine. That's it. Now you can execute the code by using python manage.py run server. You can start the SJ server and just click on this link. The first user join and login. So here we got the message, hello Joyan, welcome to Trinity chat room. We have this logout option, an input box and the send message. So let's connect with the second user also. Here we can connect to the second user. Just give this address. Use 2 different browsers to connect between the users. The second user has also logged in. Now any user can send message. So here see the color. So whenever the sender is sending a message, I have made it as a green color, and whenever a message is received from another user, I have made it as blue color. The second user can continuously send messages, and also the first user can respond. Okay, any user can wish to log out. Logging out, and I wish to log out. It is redirected to the login page. Okay, whereas this user can continue typing the message. Okay, so if you want, you can create another super user and continue the chat application. Okay, so this is the real-time chat application developed with the Python Django. That's it about creating a Django chat application. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, kindly share and subscribe.